In a kingdom rich with gold and stories, there lived a powerful king named Aaron. King Aaron was not just powerful but incredibly curious about life beyond his throne. Despite his riches, he felt an emptiness, a longing to understand his people better. So, one moonless night, he made a secret plan to leave the palace. Disguised as a common traveler, he slipped out of the grand gates unnoticed. He carried with him only a simple staff and a small bag of coins. His first destination was the mysterious Whispering Woods, feared by many. The woods were said to be cursed, filled with voices of the past. As King Aaron entered, the trees seemed to close in, whispering his name. The deeper he ventured, the louder the whispers grew, almost deafening. Suddenly, the ground beneath him gave way, and he tumbled into darkness. He landed in a hidden chamber, surrounded by ancient carvings. A mysterious figure appeared, cloaked in shadows, watching him silently. "Welcome, King Aaron," the figure said, revealing an old, weathered face. The old man was a forgotten seer, once banished from the kingdom. He told Aaron that his destiny was intertwined with the forest's secrets. "To rule wisely, you must face the truths hidden within yourself," said the seer. Confused but intrigued, Aaron listened as the seer offered him a choice. He could continue his journey as a king or abandon his title to find true wisdom. King Aaron, determined to learn, chose the path of wisdom. The seer handed him an ancient map that led to the heart of the forest. "This map will guide you, but the journey will test your soul," warned the seer. With renewed purpose, Aaron ventured deeper into the unknown. The path was treacherous, filled with illusions and challenges. He faced visions of his greatest fears and doubts. Each step forced him to confront the man behind the crown. At one point, he encountered a mirror that reflected his true self. He saw not a king, but a man burdened by his own expectations. In that moment, he realized how much he had been hiding from himself. The forest was not just a place but a test of his inner strength. After days of wandering, he finally reached the heart of the woods. There, he found a mystical tree, glowing with an otherworldly light. The tree spoke to him, revealing the truth about his kingdom. "Your people do not need a powerful king, but a wise and humble one," it said. The words resonated with Aaron, filling him with a sense of purpose. He knelt before the tree, vowing to return as a different kind of ruler. Suddenly, the ground began to shake, and the tree's light intensified. The forest seemed to come alive, guiding him back to the surface. When he emerged from the woods, he was no longer the same man. He returned to his kingdom, but not as a king in the traditional sense. He kept his identity hidden, living among his people as one of them. He worked alongside farmers, helped craftsmen, and listened to their stories. The more he lived as a commoner, the more he understood their struggles. His perspective on leadership began to change profoundly. He realized that true leadership was about empathy and understanding. The days turned into months as he continued his journey through his own land. He became a master storyteller, sharing tales of the places he visited. The people loved the mysterious traveler who seemed to know their king so well. Little did they know, they were speaking to their king directly. Meanwhile, back in the palace, the ministers were in chaos, unable to find the king. Rumors spread about his disappearance, with some believing he had been kidnapped. But the king's closest advisor, Lady Elira, suspected the truth. Lady Elira was the only one who knew of Aaron's plan to leave. She had promised to keep his secret until the right moment. As time passed, the people began to whisper about the king's return. They noticed small but significant changes in the kingdom. Taxes were lowered, and new schools and hospitals were built. The people's needs were being met as if the king was watching over them. One day, a grand festival was held to celebrate the kingdom's prosperity. The mysterious traveler was invited to share stories at the event. As he spoke, the people were captivated by his words. He spoke of the true meaning of power and leadership. A king's strength lies not in his crown, but in his connection to his people, he said. His words struck a chord with everyone present, including Lady Elora. She knew it was time for the king to reveal himself. As the traveler finished his tale, Lady Elora stood up. "People of the kingdom, you have heard the words of a true leader today," she said. "And now, I present to you your king," she declared, pulling back his hood. Gasps filled the air as the people realized the traveler was their king. King Aaron smiled warmly, no longer hidden behind a disguise. He spoke directly to his people, sharing the lessons he had learned. He told them about the importance of empathy, humility, and wisdom. The people cheered, overjoyed to have their king back, stronger and wiser. From that day on, the kingdom thrived under his enlightened rule. King Aaron continued to walk among his people, never forgetting his journey. He became known not just as a powerful king, but as the people's king. His story spread far and wide, inspiring rulers from other lands. The Whispering Woods became a symbol of the king's transformation. Travelers from across the world visited the forest to seek wisdom. And the mystical tree, at the heart of the woods, continued to glow with light. King Aaron's legacy lived on through the stories told by his people. His kingdom became a beacon of hope, where power and wisdom coexisted. The king's journey was one of self-discovery and growth. He learned that the greatest power of all was the power to change oneself. The kingdom prospered under his guidance, with peace and happiness reigning. King Aaron ruled for many more years, always seeking to understand his people better. He never forgot the lessons of the Whispering Woods and the seer. As he grew older, he passed on his wisdom to the next generation. He encouraged his children to explore the world and learn from it. When the time came, he returned to the Whispering Woods one last time. He knelt before the mystical tree, thanking it for its guidance. The tree's light surrounded him, filling him with peace. And then, with a gentle smile, King Aaron closed his eyes, his journey complete. The kingdom mourned the loss of their beloved king, but his legacy endured. The people honored his memory by living according to his teachings. The kingdom continued to thrive, a testament to King Aaron's wisdom and love. And in the heart of the Whispering Woods, the mystical tree still glowed, a reminder of the king, who found true power not in his crown, but in his heart. King Aaron's story became a legend, told for generations to come. His journey was a reminder that the greatest rulers are those who led with empathy, wisdom, and a willingness to grow. And so, the story of King Aaron, the people's king, became a timeless tale of leadership and love. The story of King Aaron spread far and wide, inspiring rulers across the lands. His kingdom, once just another realm, became a symbol of hope and wisdom. The Whispering Woods, once feared, turned into a place of pilgrimage. People from distant lands came to seek the wisdom that changed a king. The mystical tree at the heart of the woods became a revered sight. Travelers believed that touching its bark would grant them insight. The kingdom saw a new era of prosperity, guided by King Aaron's teachings. His children, raised with his wisdom, ruled with the same kindness and empathy. They continued their father's tradition of walking among the people. The royal family became beloved not for their power, but for their humility. The people felt a deep connection to their rulers, seeing them as equals. This bond created a sense of unity and harmony within the kingdom. The advisors of neighboring kingdoms sought to learn from Aaron's legacy. They visited his kingdom, studying the ways of governance and leadership. King Aaron's story became a manual for wise and just rule. His teachings were compiled into books, studied by scholars worldwide. The kingdom hosted annual festivals celebrating the king's journey. These festivals attracted tourists, boosting the kingdom's economy. Artisans created beautiful crafts inspired by the stories of King Aaron. The kingdom's culture flourished, with art, music, and literature thriving. The people took pride in their heritage, knowing they were part of a special story. Even the Whispering Woods became a hub of activity, with guided tours offered. The woods were no longer a place of fear, but of wonder and learning. The seer's hidden chamber became a site for reflection and meditation. Pilgrims would leave offerings, thanking the seer for guiding the king. The kingdom's reputation grew, attracting travelers from every corner of the earth. Inns and taverns flourished, with tourists eager to hear stories of the king. Storytellers became a respected profession, keeping the king's legend alive. The tales were told in every language, reaching even the most distant lands. The kingdom's wealth grew, but the rulers remained humble, as King Aaron had taught. One day, a group of young rulers from distant kingdoms arrived. They had heard of King Aaron's wisdom and sought to learn from his children. The royal family welcomed them warmly, eager to share their father's teachings. The young rulers were amazed by the simplicity and effectiveness of the kingdom. They realized that true power came from understanding and connecting with the people. Inspired, they vowed to take these lessons back to their own lands. The kingdom's influence began to spread, not through conquest, but through wisdom. King Aaron's teachings became a new way of governance, a philosophy of leadership. The world slowly began to change, with more rulers adopting these ideals. Wars decreased and peace became more common among the lands. The kingdom hosted summits where leaders discussed ways to improve their realms. These meetings fostered cooperation and understanding among nations. King Aaron's story was often the opening tale at these gatherings. His journey served as a reminder of the power of humility and growth. The mystical tree in the Whispering Woods became a symbol of hope. It was said that those who meditated beneath its branches would find clarity. Pilgrims often claimed to feel the presence of the king's spirit guiding them. The tree's glow never faded, a constant reminder of the king's journey. Artists from around the world came to paint the tree, capturing its ethereal beauty. The kingdom's royal family continued to uphold their father's legacy. They opened schools, hospitals, and libraries, ensuring everyone had access to knowledge. Education became a cornerstone of the kingdom's growth. The royal family believed that an enlightened population was the key to progress. Scholarships were offered to students from all lands, spreading knowledge far and wide. The kingdom became known as the land of enlightenment. Its universities attracted the brightest minds, fostering innovation and discovery. The people of the kingdom lived long, fulfilling lives, inspired by King Aaron's teachings. They believed in the power of self-improvement and lifelong learning. Even in old age, the people remained curious, always seeking to understand more. The kingdom became a beacon of knowledge and wisdom. Visitors often remarked on the kindness and intelligence of its people. The legacy of King Aaron was alive in every corner of the kingdom. His journey had not only transformed a king, but an entire realm. As the years passed, his story evolved, with new chapters written by his descendants. Each generation added their own experiences, enriching the tale. But the core message remained the same. True power lies in wisdom, empathy, and growth. The kingdom continued to thrive, a model of enlightened rule. King Aaron's children grew old, passing on the crown to their own children. The royal family remained close to the people, always listening and learning. They continued to walk among them, ensuring they never lost touch with their roots. The kingdom's history was preserved in a grand library, built in King Aaron's honor. Scholars from around the world came to study the texts and artifacts housed there. The library became a symbol of the kingdom's commitment to knowledge and truth. The people of the kingdom never forgot their king's journey. His story was told at every gathering, a source of inspiration and pride. The Whispering Woods remained a sacred place, a living testament to King Aaron's transformation. The mystical tree continued to glow, its light guiding those who sought wisdom. The kingdom's borders expanded, but the people remained united under King Aaron's legacy. They knew that the true measure of a ruler was not in conquest, but in understanding. The world began to change, with more kingdoms adopting the ideals of empathy and wisdom. Peace and prosperity spread, a result of King Aaron's teachings. His story became a guiding light for rulers everywhere. The people of the kingdom knew they were part of something greater than themselves. They were the keepers of a legacy that had changed the world. As the years turned into centuries, King Aaron's story became a legend. His name was spoken with reverence, his journey a symbol of hope and growth. The kingdom continued to thrive, its people living in harmony and peace. The world around them changed, but the core values of the kingdom remained strong. The teachings of King Aaron were passed down through generations, never forgotten. His story lived on in the hearts and minds of the people, a timeless tale of leadership and love. The kingdom became a beacon of light in a world that often seemed dark. And in the Whispering Woods, the mystical tree continued to glow, a reminder of the king who had found true power within himself. King Aaron's legacy was not just a story, but a living, breathing testament to the power of wisdom, empathy, and growth. The people of the kingdom knew that they were part of something extraordinary. They were the heirs to a legacy that had transformed a king, a kingdom, and the world. The story of King Aaron, the people's king, would be told for generations to come. His journey would continue to inspire those who sought to lead with kindness and wisdom. And as long as the mystical tree continued to glow, the memory of King Aaron would never fade. His story would live on, a beacon of hope and a reminder that the greatest power of all is the power to change oneself. And so, the legend of King Aaron, the people's king, became a timeless tale of leadership, love, and the journey toward true wisdom.